everybody, welcome to another episode of On the Paint Table. It's my weekly show where you see what I got done, what I'm working on, and what is coming up. So this week, I painted some BFG stuff and some Warhammer Underworld stuff, and started my plan for doing a whole bunch of solo filming, of course, as we move forward into this new reality of, I guess, was it social distancing and some self-isolation. I'm coming up with ways to keep filming, and so just picking and choosing some games to work on, which I think you guys will be excited about, and that are featuring solo play. Also, there's a lot of plans for different companies, especially Osprey for doing a lot of that. We're going to be doing some stuff to release some options to play Last Days solo coming up soon. You'll see a PDF coming out, as well as I believe there's some stuff happening with some major other games, which I won't talk about yet because I don't know if it's been announced. So yeah, so let's see what I got done. I painted my Necron fleet. I painted up Hrothgorn and his hunters, and I started unpacking what my first couple things I wanted to work on for solo gaming is. Obviously, the new PDF for Zone Alpha came out, which I'm going to check out. I don't really need to paint anything to do that, though. I just got all my Zone Alpha stuff already painted. But working on a few odds and ends for just funsies models, and then some stuff maybe for Blackstone Fortress, which I'm glad I saved because this is a good time to do that. I'm working on it at home. Actually, I didn't bring it in to show you. It's all work in progress. My Elder Scrolls Call to Arms stuff, which you'll see the review for next week too. And then just some bits and pieces for my Slaves of Darkness because I want to get back to the new year, new army, and I like to break up projects where like I do something I have to get done, I do something I want to get done, and then I kind of just alternate so that there's like pressure to get finished, but then like, oh, this is fun, nice, I'm just gonna do this, and then go back and forth. So I'll show you what I got worked on and what is coming up. So first things first, here's Hrothgorn's Hunters. Man, these were fun to paint. I love Warhammer Underworld's warbands. They are just like a nice taste of a faction, and I especially like it when a new cool model comes out for one of my favorite armies. So this is Hrothgorn. He's just an Ogre Hunter, but he's got a cool like crossbow. It's actually a man-trap launcher, which is just hella cool. He's really good in Warhammer Underworlds, but he's actually really cool in Age of Sigmar as well. He's got a bag full of guts there, and then his cool kind of like Mournfang cloak. I painted up my standard Ogre scheme. You do need some old paints for this though, so he's all base coat old Scorched Brown. The skin is actually Scorched Brown blended up through old Rotting Flesh. And what I do is I base coat him Scorched Brown. I do all the metals, a quick base coat of like maybe 60% Scorched Brown, 40% Rotting Flesh on the skin, do all the metals, and then just wash it all with Agrex Earthshade gloss, and then go up and just highlight everything through again. The pelt was done with some, I think the Fang, blended up through Grey Seer, and just dry brushed and just edge blended and stuff. And then the skins are old Scorched Brown blended up through, I think, Bugman's Glow to give it just sort of a different tone than the rest of the like tan leather. So the tan leather is XV88 up through Scorched Brown, and then this is all like a flesh tone to make it look like it's like uncured and stuff. Then when he's all done, all the details are painted. I do some after I've sealed it all, I do some Blood for the Blood God, just like spattering and stuff too. Really nice miniature, just tons of character, and actually really good in the game. Like I'm actually really excited to try him out. Then we got Fafnir, his loyal hound. He deploys when Hrothgorn shows up. He just gets to like teleport in. He bamfs in within 12, but not within 9 of the enemy, just like Hrothgorn does. And then his minions, which is a group of Noblars. This is Quiv. If he's within range of Hrothgorn, he gets to hand him an extra bolt and gives him an extra shot with his man-trap launcher, which is kind of cool. And then there's these guys who are just like running around the club and Trap Boy over here. And if this unit's in your army, you get to deploy into your first hero phase a trap marker on any one terrain piece in the, on the table. And the first time an enemy unit comes within 1 inch, 2 plus the D6 mortal wound. So it's, I mean, for 160 points in Age of Sigmar, you're getting 3 units that can like hold zones. 1 can react and like come into the zone where you need it. And then Hrothgorn, because he's got a 12-inch gun, he gets to like potentially just finish something off or put a wound where you really need it. And he's still an Ogre character. He's got 7 wounds, 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, 2 damage, a skinning knife. And he does an Ogre charge, which is huge. And because he's a character, he can CP himself to reroll charges and stuff as well. So I'm stoked about them, and they were just a blast to paint. They're just tons of character, and I love these little Warhammer warbands. I wish they did something like this for 40k, because they have tons of character, and they just give you this little like snack-sized painting project for a different army. And that's why I painted so many Warhammer Underworld's warbands when they first came out, and I love whenever a new one comes out for my armies. And here's my Necron fleet, courtesy of Rage. We've got the Rage of Trazeen here, which is my my big tomb ship, which is super rad. I got 2 Shrouds, 2 Scythes, and then some Dirges and Jackals, which are the escorts. Now, the Necron fleet is pretty notorious in Battlefleet Gothic for being really hard. They got a lot of special rules. Their guns kind of kill everything. They're almost designed to kill Eldar, which the Eldar kind of find problematic, obviously, because the Eldar are one of the other fleets that's like a hard counter to everything else. And they're super durable, 6+ armor on everything, and then if they brace, they go to 4+ armor, but 2+, like, basically feel no pain. So really hard to kill. They balance that off, though, with having just a huge point cost, like the basic, like their 4-hit light cruisers are 155, I think. It's 275 for basic cruiser, and then 500 for the tomb ship. So everything's spendy, 40 and 50 for the escorts. And they take some finesse to play because they're almost always going to be braced, which makes them easy to hit. But then 2+ shrugging everything, and they do feel a little finessey when you actually start playing them. They're a lot of fun. You'll see some games of them coming up soon. They're already in the queue. Painting wise, they were dry brushed old Charodon granite, and then afterwards with some old chainmail, and then washed with some Agrax Earthshade. Actually, sorry, not Agrax Earthshade. A thin down mix of XV88. And Moored Fang Brown, and a lot of water and gloss varnish. And I kind of make my own gloss wash for it, and that's how I got that nice kind of like patina on everything. And then all of the details done with like old Hawk Turquoise, some Wild Rider Red, and some Fire Dragon Orange, just in little recesses, little dots and lights there, just kind of give them a glow. And they have kind of like a Stargate thing going. That was what I was going for with my my Necron army, and it matches my Necron army in 40k. But super easy and quick to accomplish. I mean, BFG fleets paint up easy pretty much no matter what they are, but lots of fun, and I'm really happy with the result. All right, and here's some mixes of things to try out. So first of all, my solo play projects, Escalation. I tend to save solo play games for when I know like I won't have guests in, or times when I'm not busy as projects. And people have been asking for me to come back to Warhammer Quest for a long time with Escalation. And hey, this is the rainy day surprise. I saved this, and now it's raining, and I get to paint some awesome 40k character models, all these awesome cultists, and throw down some 40k stuff. So I'm actually super jazzed about this because the models are super cool, the rules are super cool, and it's a whole new adventure. So we'll be playing this game for a while. And if you know, things lighten up, people can come in, and if not, I can just keep filming by myself, and you guys can walk through this 40k campaign. So I'm really jazzed about that. On top of that, I'm going to be painting up some stuff for doing some Fallout on Fridays, doing some like solo adventures and stuff, and then in between, my plan is to work on some of my just AOS minis I haven't painted that I wanted to. Like I'm going to finish my Firebelly because Rothgar got me excited about, or Rothgorn got me excited about my Ogres again. And then just my New Year Arms project. I've never finished my I've forgotten about them from my Warcry box, my Furies, which I really wanted to finish because they're just a handy 100 points to have camp objectives. I got Be'lakor in here, stripping. This is an old Be'lakor model that I had that was like, I think donated to the co-op, and it's been in one of Owen's armies or something like that for a while. Like I gave him to Owen, and then he's just been sitting on a shelf when Owen got rid of his Nurgle army, and so I just threw him in the whatchamacallit, the Simple Green to strip. And then just finishing another battle line unit for my Slaves to Darkness, which is my kind of camping unit, the 5+ shrugging, shield saves. And then once these are done, I'll probably look at painting some Marauder Horsemen so that I can add in my next Ravager summonable unit. I don't get an extra summonable unit right now with Be'lakor because he's a Demon Prince. He can't use the command ability, so it doesn't really matter that I have another hero because he can't use it. So just my Iron Golems can be summoned in, and they typically die when they show up, so I'm not super worried about that command ability being wasted without having the Marauder Horses painted yet. And this gives me a nice quick, it's 240, 340, 440, and I could buy a CP if I need to because the army is pretty CP hungry to go to 1500 for my Slaves to Darkness. And so there you go, another on the paint table done on the books. 18 miniatures painted this week. It was actually a pretty productive week, but I feel like the Necrons are kind of boosting my numbers because they're pretty easy to finish, and Battlefleet Gothic fleets in general tend to be high models, low effort. But I had so much fun painting Rothgar and friends, and I'm really jazzed to try them out because they're a super cool unit. And then, of course, you know me, I always have a plan. If you guys don't remember when I first started this place up, or if you just are kind of new to the channel or whatever, I filmed a month's content before I started releasing videos. And I've been rolling on that rolling schedule of like 4 weeks out for almost 6 years. It's 2015 I started, and it's now 2020. So we've been going just over, June will be the month that this goes to 5 years. Yeah. 5 years, that's right, yeah. And that schedule's always just kept going because I've always known that to take time off, to be with my kids, if something happens, something bad happens, I need to have a rolling buffer of stuff. And so that's why you guys see videos coming out that are always filmed in the past. And so for the next little while, it's gonna just be business as usual here. You'll see games getting filmed. And of course, I've always liked solo content like Rangers of Shadow Deep, I've got solo rules for Last Days, Blackstone Fortress, even all the Modiphius games like Fallout and stuff, because they give you this option to play, and I could always film content if I needed content as I go. So I've always got a plan. There's always a way to keep going, and you won't be missing any episodes of GMG basically weekly, because nothing stops me making content. I got tons of miniatures and tons of things to do, and social distancing and self-isolation, I'm just gonna come to the studio and film by myself. So you should keep having lots to watch. I'll probably start doing some live shows at home too, when I have the time, and just kind of hanging out with you guys and hopefully trying to keep touch. Because the one thing I've been getting a lot of messages of right now is just, are you okay? What are you doing? You know, like, how are things going? I'm a bit of a homebody. I've spent lots of time with my kids, and I don't really go out and see a lot of people. So this doesn't really change my life at all. But I have been getting a lot of messages saying that I really appreciate you still posting content, and I'm happy that you guys are, still making things, and this is really helping me to, sit and have something to do. This is part of my day I look forward to. So I have no intention of stopping doing that. And if anything, I'd like to be able to maybe hang out online more with people and just have that ability to keep communicating and keep people together. We're lucky that we live in an online world, an online community where we can touch base and be connected. And I think that's gonna be really valuable for everybody going forward, just to kind of keep sane and feel like they have some outward contact. I know that being able to talk to my fellow game designer friends every week, which we do on Mondays, and being able to talk to all of you guys on Facebook and through Instagram and stuff like that has been something that's been amazing as I've gone through my parenting journey in the last 6 years. You know what I mean? Like, just having this connection with people that you can sort of like fall back on when you're, midway through the 15th diaper of the day or whatever. And I think it's valuable, and obviously I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can. So big thanks to everybody that's continuing to watch, and of course all my patrons and everybody who's stuck around and supporting me. This is unprecedented times for everybody, and I will hopefully just keep giving you guys a laugh and something to look forward to and something to watch. And thank you for all the support and just like kind words and everything that's been coming through, and words of concern and stuff too. So we'll see you next week for more On the Paint Table. We'll see what I get done. Then I'm Ash. Have a good night. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to support the channel, of course, like and subscribe and hit the little bell below so you get notifications when I post future content. I do post stuff 7 days a week. If you want to support the channel further, you can, of course, buy a t-shirt through Spreadshirts, buy a measuring gauge or objective markers from Gothic Designs, or, of course, most importantly, there is Patreon. Patreon is what makes all this possible, keeps the lights on, pays for the studio costs, pays for the equipment, model costs, and everything else, and most importantly, puts food in my kids' bellies and a roof over their heads. Big thanks to everyone, past, future, who supported me. I do this stuff because of you guys, and of course, I will continue doing it as long as I can.